So I randomly got this urge to tell these stories about girls that were in my life when I was a youngin' child. I don't know what compelled me to want to tell these stories, but they're kind of funny. They're cringe. At first, I was thinking of titling them uh, "Girls That I've Wronged in the Past," but not necessarily are these all girls that I've wronged. Nor is it all the girls. I'm not going to talk about all the girls that I've wronged in the past. And then I was just, it's probably just Tip Estate's cringe moments featuring females in the past. Anyway, the first one is going to be a little weird, a little tamed, not like too bad, just like a story that I thought would be funny to tell. So in middle school, seventh and eighth grade specifically, not including sixth grade, we got to choose our own special classes. So in the grades before, we had PE. What it was PE, music, art, and some other one that I'm forgetting. But we still had to, of course, take our core classes like math, reading, whatever. But which special we got to chose was a choice of our own. So, of course, me being an 11-year-old, like the rest of my class, I chose gym, PE. I wanted to do PE an hour at the end of the day every day. But since literally almost everyone in our grade chose that, unless you were already like a band student, which you could have did band in elementary, which means you did band in middle school. But if you didn't do that, you normally chose PE. And sadly, I didn't make the cut, so they randomly put me into this art class. Well, luckily, art became pretty cool because the teacher was pretty sick, and a lot of my other friends got placed into that class. So it didn't even end up being that bad of a thing, you know? Next year came, and I chose art again. So I did art seventh grade, I did art eighth grade. And this time we had a bunch of new students. The old sixth, now seventh graders were coming into this art class, probably experiencing the same thing we did. Chose PE, didn't get PE, got sent somewhere else. And one of these seventh graders was very new, brand new to the school, just started and chose art as her class. I think she chose it. I don't think she chose PE. For the sake of the story, let's call her Tiffany. Tiffany, brand new, very shy, and I'm normally kind of mind empty, eyes blind when it comes to figuring out whether or not a girl liked me. But she made it abundantly clear that she had a crush on me, but would never admit it. For the first month, I was pretty much the only one she talked to in art. And then eventually she'd start finding me on my way to art class and follow me to art class. And then it started bleeding that she'll start following me around during recess and lunch. And I was just like the center of her attention whenever I could be. Right? We didn't have the same classes together because we were grades apart. But in any time she could be near me, she was near me. Um, Now the weird part started to arise when she introduced me to two of her friends who are gonna be left unnamed because they fill the same role. So I'll just refer to them as their two friends. I don't know why, but these girls, probably similar to Tiffany, they had something going on for me because they were all over me. When I was this young, I had a personal policy against dating girls in the previous grades. I don't know why. I guess I thought they were too young, but if I had to choose between the three, Tiffany was definitely the most attractive. But she'd never act on her having a crush on me, at least not in the way that the other two girls. So whenever she was around, I made a point to kind of lean into the touchiness, to the hugs, to the cuddling, to the hand holdings, to whatever they were doing, just rile her up a little bit. I don't know why I did that. I could have just communicated my feelings, just how she should have communicated hers, but neither of us did. But it all came to a boiling point at the end of the year trip. Uh, I don't know if other schools did this. This was the first school I went to that did this, but at the end of every year, I think since I got there, which was fifth grade, I don't know if the younger grades did something else, but we took an end of the year trip to our local water park, which at the time was called Water World. And then in middle school, it was changed to Wet and Wild, and I think now it's called Six Flags Hurricane Horizon. I'm not sure. But during the entirety of that trip, these two girls were all over me. Like it came, like it was so much, just constant, just arms around me, like hugging 24/7 with a thinly veiled excuse that it was because it was cold because they just got out of the water and they were wet and I was warm. No idea where that came from. But during this trip, it's when Tiffany really started to come out of her shell, but she was clearly uncomfortable trying to mimic what these other two girls were doing. And hell, even talking about it now made me uncomfortable. Like, we were 11 years old, and these, like, when I say all over me, the touchiness was way too much for me. uh, Maybe that's why I'm a little bit of a nerdy guy. Anyway, after the trip, it just all kind of ended abruptly because, as I said, I was in eighth grade. They're in seventh. I was moving on to the high school. They were staying at the same school, so we just kind of went no contact for a while. A year or two later, I found her on Facebook, gave her a friend request, and I raised her and her older sister up a little bit, and we played Minecraft together, and that's pretty much the the end of the story between me and Tiffany. Um, but thinking back, I like to think and remember this moment as the first time I discovered that I was likable. Like, not that like a lot of people hated me. I'd say in fourth grade I was not fourth, yeah, fourth grade I went to a different school, and I was not bullied, but kind of like ignored. Like, no one would pay me any attention. No one would take me seriously. A lot of the times, not even the teachers, and and it just wasn't it wasn't fun. So coming into fifth grade, had the idea that no one liked me and that I was going to be alone forever, and that continued up until this moment where I met Tiffany, where I finally felt like I had a chance to be liked and loved. So I think back on this as a time to feel human. I guess I didn't feel like I was human. I don't know how to explain it. Um, but yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little story I had. Kind of weird to think back and reminisce on these moments. Like I said, spent most of my life remembering myself as a nerd, but I guess amongst other nerds, I'm a little bit of a chat. Let me know if you have any similar stories down there in the comments, and let me know if you found this strange story entertaining in any way. I guess. Bye.